Hey, I'm Scottie, and one of the most common questions I get from beginners is how do I make my portraits look more feminine or more masculine? So today we're going to sketch these two portraits here side by side, and I'm going to give you all the tips that you need. Let's get on to sketching these two references. We'll do the female first here, and then we'll do the male on the right, and we'll be comparing them as we go. So firstly, we'll add two dots closer to the top of the page here, and that's just the width of the head, and that's the top of the head, the hairline. And then we got some hair coming out of there, so let's draw some wavy hair like this. It comes out like this on this side. Then we're looking at the face shape here. We always do the main shapes first. So we come in this way. It's about that hair this side, and then similar on this side we come in. So now here's about where the eyebrows are. So that comes down the eyebrows, and the trick is when you've got those eyebrows, you can swing this line down. So imagine it rotating around this point, and that is where the chin is at the bottom there. So we're outlining this main shape, and that brings us to the jawline, which is really, really, really important when you're trying to make this look more feminine. So we're drawing a small round chin, really important, don't make it too wide like a male. So mine's quite flat and wide, whereas hers is sort of more rounder. So let's draw a small round chin here, like that. And then her jaw, it comes up more like a V shape. I like to emphasize that chin with two little indents there. So you can see there's that little change of direction. So we're going to emphasize that and then curve up this way. On this side, curve up like that. You hear that V shape there. It's more of a curve than a male. And then we come down from the eyebrows. You can see that there's this cheek shape. So I'm almost coming straight down to that point at a slight angle inward. You can try and follow some of the curves of the face there. So we have a nice shape for that face, and we have that V with a chin, small chin on the end. Now we can draw the neck, and the neck is also really important that we don't draw it too wide. So put a dot here, come in a little bit there, and come in a little bit on this side. It's almost to there. See how narrow that neck is, narrower than on a male. And we come down this way, this angle here. We're just outlining this shape at the bottom of the neck and adding the clothing. And now the hair, just outline the hair, give it a nice wave and block in the general shapes here. This. Now the hat, we can get onto the hat now. So you go up from the hairline, just about there, and then on the side, how far does that come out? About there and there. So that's just by eye observation. So now we can join those lines up like that. And then the seam, it's a bit narrower at the bottom here to give that depth. That's the perspective, and it gets a bit wider on this edge. So let's draw that top bit. And then we've got all the main shapes, and now we can start constructing that face. So we go from the top hairline to the chin. We've got to break it into three sections. And I use the eyebrows to do that. So come down a third and do two dots here. Just that gap between the eyebrows, and then another third. We come down, and that's the width of the nose. And so let's draw the eyebrows first, and we'll draw a line angling down a little bit, like this way. Like that, and then it will come down on the edges like that. And now let's go down to the nose, like that. You can even start with the middle of the nose, like that, little round, and then up on this side, so you get them even. Now we can move on to the eyes. So let's go up 2/3, 1, 2. Put a dot there, the same width as the nose. Make sure they have the right angle. And then the same width as those two dots, we go across. One there, and one there. So we do that, we start with the top eyelid, up like this. And now we can add the iris. So the iris sits almost in the middle of this. Just add a little bit of the corner there, the darkness there, the corners of the eyes. Now the iris is almost in the middle there. We just got a little bit of white on each side. So I draw the side, just the sides of the iris here, and make sure the width of the iris on each side is the same. It's a bit flatter because that bottom eyelid cuts it. Pupil there. Now to make this eye look more feminine, we can add in a bit more emphasis on the top eyelashes. So that's in more darker eyelashes up here, and a bit of a thicker eyelid on the top. So emphasizing those, and we wouldn't do that on the male. Now let's add some detail around the eye to match the reference. We have a line up here like this, for just to show there's a little bit of wrinkles there, to show that, and then I'm happy with that width going up like that. And they taper. The lips, so we got from the chin to the bottom of the nose, go up 2/3, 1, 2, and then across. And with this, the corner of the mouth is about where the pupil is. 2, and then across to where the pupil is, about there. And then let's join those lines up. It's just a gentle curve. Now let's add the bottom lip. And that's what you might just leave on a male. But on a female, we add a bit more definition to the lips. So let's draw the top lip, little V shape there. We don't have to go all the way to the corner, just a little bit before that. Cheek muscles there, so we go across like this, little curve this way, indent there. And now I'll look at the outside of the shape. Now we've got the face. Edit this outline just a fraction. So they might come in a bit. I'll put that in closer. Hair, I think could come in a bit more. And a little line there. So you can see there's some lines, of shadow lines here. It comes down to about there. Makes that detail a lot nicer there. And what else we have? The buttons, it flows like this. I want to get those waves. Okay, we're moving on to the male face now, and as I go, I'll compare it to the female face here and make sure that we make this more masculine. Okay, so we're going to put 2 dots, just the width of the hair. So you know it fits in the page. Just to give you some guide, it's helpful for beginners, is you can go across here and come up that same distance and put a dot there. And that's just, generally just from looking at the reference, I can see the hair is the proportion of the hair. Now, we're going to outline the hair and just have a go at just trying to get some of the loops and some of the shapes here as we go around. We're just going one way, then another way, just loop back, have a nice big curl here. So that's a general shape of a curly hair. Now at that point we had there, let's do the width of the face. So say the width is a little bit more hair on that side, approximately the width of the face there, that section there, down to here. From that point near the eyebrows, we can swing that line down the same distance at an angle, and that is where the chin would be. He does have the mouth open slightly, so it'd probably be down a little bit lower. And so to get that shape of the face, we have to do a chin. We'll do a chin first, but not a little circular chin like this one. Make sure it's a bit flatter. So right in the middle, or between those 2 points, let's just draw a chin that is a little bit more square like that. Now we can come out towards the side, but instead of going angling really steeply like we did on this one, we come right up to where the ears are almost, up like this. We'll come down a bit to about there. So it's a little bit more angular. So try and follow what he has on the reference there and just come out there, but don't go further than this point. So that point has to angle in and meet there nicely. So angling up like that on this side, like that. It's a little bit more square and angular, and then this point here where it changes directions is a lot lower than here. So we'll come down from this point, and I'm just guessing some of these shapes. We can edit it a bit more later, and then it comes in to there. That's the main difference between the two, is this jaw shape. It's a bit more angular here with this wider chin, and then the neck, of course, it will be a bit wider too. So let's have a look at that neck. See, it comes a bit closer on this side. So I have a wider neck than she has. You can see less of this coming out the sides there. The bit where the t-shirt is, and then the bit where the t-shirt is, and angles down this way. This is the collar, and up like that. Now let's draw the details on the face. So we can divide the face into 3. We need that proportion. So we can come down about 1/3 to where we had the 2 dots there before. And we do 2 dots for between the eyebrows. So look at that distance there, make sure you have a nice gap there. And then we come down another 1/3, but because the mouth is slightly open, I want to leave this last 1/3 a little bit, leave room for that smile. So we've got the 4 dots, and we can add in the eyebrows now. Add in a line, just a simple line like that. Now the nose. So let's draw this side here. And this time I will start on the side here, and just it goes up and then down. But let's do the eyes first. So you go up, 1, 2, and that's 2/3 up from the bottom of the nose to the brow. And that same width we come across, and this side. So his eyes are opened quite in a narrow way. So we'll keep that eyelid quite low, that top eyelid down to that point. A slight curve downwards. Looking at the white on each side, so it's right in the middle. Now the support lines around the eye to make this eye look unique to this person. And also on here, it's got quite strong wrinkles there. It tapers off to the side. So the mouth is 2/3 up from the chin, but it's just a little bit longer than normal. So I'll go back up to that dot there, and then go 2/3. So about here, but then we come across the corners of the mouth. It's about where the middle of the eye is, about there. And you'll notice with the eyes, sorry, that I didn't do the eyelashes like I did in the other reference. If you add eyelashes on this, it will make it look more feminine. So now, go down a bit there, like that. And then the bottom mouth is open to about there. Darker corners. Outline each tooth with a smile. We just do the corners like that. And then we can see a split where the teeth are. Add a few lines there just to show that the teeth are, but we don't draw the individual teeth. And we can draw a little line on the top, but we're not doing as much as we did on that one. And then on this side, we've got the wrinkle there, comes around. And now we can go some detail on the neck. So we have a little Adam's apple there. The little shadow lines here for the collarbone. And now the glasses. So with glasses, I try to keep the symmetry by starting in the middle. So we can draw these support, and then they come up, and there's a bit of the first strut comes across like that, the first bit of the glasses, it's above the eye, and then there's another one even higher that goes up near the eyebrows. We come around here and around, and that's just little shapes. So one comes in like this, and it's pretty black down there, so we don't need any there. There's some curls like this, and then over here some real big curls. So there are two portraits, the female and the male, and you can see the main differences are the eyelashes here, hardly any on this one, and the lips are more outlined here than on this one. But you can see the big difference is the jawline. So you've got a nice smooth small chin that curves up this way towards the ears, and this one has a wider, squarer chin that comes to a point more here and then comes straight up. The neck is quite a bit thicker on the male here, and thinner on the female. So they're the main areas that you can make your face. Often when I see people drawing a female, they'll draw the chin's too wide and the jawline is too angular, and then the neck too thick. And that area there really defines the difference between masculine and feminine. Okay, now we've done the line work, let's have some fun adding some watercolor. Bring these to life. So I have my round 10 brush, and let's start off with a skin tone. I'm using burnt sienna. I'll just go from the top here and come down, leave that side of the nose with a bit of highlight on it, and then as we're going across, let's add a little bit of rose into the mix. We're changing the colour just subtly as we come down this way. Have a subtle change in the colour because the light's coming from that direction. So I'll start again, burnt sienna, so highlight on the end of the nose, highlight just on the top of the cheek. Back over to the lady, and she's got a hat that looks like it's yellow, perfect for yellow ochre. And we'll start at the top. The light's coming from this way. And bring it down. And how can we change that? Maybe some burnt umber. I always like to change the colour a little bit when it goes away from the light. And then his hair, which is a dark brown. So I've got already Payne's grey in the palette here, and so I'll add a bit of burnt umber. So we're coming down. It's a lot darker behind his head there. So we'll start a bit light at the top, and if there's little bits of white, little bits of gaps there for the curls that you did see, the little curls I did there, see if you can leave a bit of white on those. Oh, I missed the ear. We'll move back onto her hair, burnt sienna, so a lot darker burnt sienna. So you could add a rose or alizarin crimson. So I'm trying not to touch the other colours. And then as we're coming down, we're changing to a more, I'll make it more of a brown, so the burnt umber will come part of that mix. See how that looks. Just love having that colour change. Okay, so let's do some nice cadmium yellow lines. Using my brush to make some leaves. Ultramarine, add that into the eyes. So this guy will have the Payne's grey burnt umber mix for his eyebrows. Burnt umber, Payne's grey. Grab that ultramarine. We'll start this way, add in some Payne's grey, darker on this side. So we'll just add a little bit of a second glaze on top. So we have rose and then burnt sienna layered just there, like that, just around there. Warming up the middle of the face is always nice. Frames the face nicely. There's a little bit here too, it's dark, so it's a dark reddy mix. Contrast here. Maybe in the corners here too, where it goes into the hat. Ultramarine, something here. And so her lips, she can actually go rose. Don't go too far to the sides. Patterns that he has on the shirt. Yellow ochre and a bit of burnt umber. Saturated there and here on the side. So now for shadows, a little bit of shadow on the left hand side, coming down this side of the face, and it comes across the shirt, the forehead like that, and there's a shadow coming onto the left of the bottom of the nose. Shadow will be coming across this way, under these eyebrows here. And the shadow is almost covering this whole side of the face, so maybe I'll just run it down like that. Then with a Posca pen, or you could use another type of white pen, we're going to add some highlights, and around his hair here you might add just some little highlights on the glasses, highlight on there and on the edges of the glasses, and over on the lady here where the light hits on these edges, edge of the hat, highlights here. And that's my final result, and that's how I sketch portraits and make faces look more feminine or more masculine. Let me know in the comment if those tips helped you. If you want to see more, the full tutorial without any of the cuts, you can join my Patreon, and I've got the full tutorial there, plus a whole lot of other tutorials and fundamentals, and a community where you can share sketches and be encouraged, and you can also ask me questions. But thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.